It's been 6 months since I last did my last ranking of the PvZ plants, and I've been planning on doing a ranking for the twiddy dinkies, which is still a stupid name, from Crazy Dave's store. So now I'm gonna rank them right now, and yes, I will also be counting Imitator as well, since he is also in the store. And now, here it is, after 6 months, it's now returning. This is an early Christmas gift for all of you. This was inspired by Gold Ninja Block Spot, so credit to him. Let's start with the video, shall we? Easily taking the bottom spot is the gold magnet. Obvious pick here, because who needs a plant that collects coins for you? The answer is nobody. Well, unless you are missing like more than 7 fingers. This plant is actually pretty useful if you use it on your PC or computer or whatever, but I don't use it at all, mainly because I only use that on mobile, iPads and phones, so it's pretty useless for that. And it's worth pointing out that Gold Ninja Block Spot doesn't like it either. Number 8, aka my favorite number, Cob Cannon. This plant does sound kind of useful, given that it's literally a frickin' cannon, but it's just really expensive. It costs literally 500 sun, but you have to plant it on not 1, but 2 kernel bulbs, making that 700 sun. Good luck trying to get 700 sun. Also, it's worth pointing out that the Cob Cannon, you can barely even get 1 Cob Cannon. So yeah, the Cob Cannon is not that much of a good plant at all, and I really don't like it either. Number 7 is the Imitator. Okay, we've gone through the 2 plants from the Crazy Dave store that I actively dislike, so all of them from this point forward are at least decent. The Imitator, I don't really have a lot of criticism for, but I just have no reason to use this plant. It really imitates a lot of plants, well, except for the ones from the twiddy dinkies, which is pretty ridiculous. That is my biggest criticism for the Imitator, and I honestly don't really care for pretending plants. So yeah, the Imitator isn't really that bad, but it's also not good, so it's getting the number 7 spot. 6 is the Gloom Shroom. This is ironically a fume shroom that can shoot in 8, aka my favorite number, directions. But the biggest criticism for this is that it does puny range. It's not as good as the fume shroom, so I don't use that very often. So I'd rather just use a fume shroom rather than a gloom shroom for when a screen door zombie comes in. In 4th, the middle spot, number 5, goes to the Twin Sunflower. This is 2 times powerful more than the Sunflower, but I'd rather use the Sunflower rather than the Twin Sunflower. 1, because it's an upgrade, and 2, you have to get 200 sun to get a Twin Sunflower. Sure, it costs 150 sun, but the Sunflower costs 50 sun, and you have to plant it on the Sunflower, so now you're gonna get 200. I still like this plant, but I just don't really like using it as much as the Sunflower, and Sunflower is still my favorite plant out of all of them. In 4th place is the Spike Rock. Okay, the last 4 that are on the list are actually amazing. The Spike Rock can damage zombies pretty easily. The spikeweed is actually pretty useless, and I don't really like it at all. I do like it in the second game, but not in the first game because it can barely damage one single zombie. Spike Rock, however, can damage zombies a lot, and it only costs 125 sun. Hey, cool. Well, make that 225, given that you have to plant it on a Spike Rock. So anyways, the Spike Rock is a now useful plant and more useful than the Spikeweed. Into the top 3 is the Gatling Pea. I honestly prefer this over the Repeater, even though it's a lot expensive. But my main reason for that is because it shoots 4 peas, and now it's a football player. I say that because it has a helmet. And do you get the joke? But anyways, the Gatling Pea has the best design out of every single plant in PvZ 1, mainly because the little shooters in its mouth, the marks, and the helmet, which is the reason why I think it's a football player now. And despite the fact that it costs 450 sun because of the Repeater, it's still a really useful plant. The second spot goes to the Cattail. This is the Lord Shigeharu's favorite plant, and that's not a reason why I like this. It's just a fun fact. But the Cattail is pretty cute, and it's actually really useful, and is one of my favorite plants in the entire game. Because it crosses lanes, and their shoots are basically like the cactus, but it's way better than the cactus. And the Cattail is pretty cute because who doesn't like cats? And yeah, cats are my favorite animal, and the Cattail is pretty adorable, and it's even better than the Nyan Cat, which is my favorite meme. And are you really sad about the Cattail not being in PvZ 2? Well, you get a homing thistle, which is much like a cattail, because it crosses lanes, just like the Cattail. Not only that, but it also shoots zombies that are the closest to your house, which is why I think it's actually better than the Cattail. But the Cattail is still a pretty amazing plant that should be used in literally every single level in the pool levels. And right at the top is the Wintermelon Colt. Pretty predictable, given that it's really useful, and not only does it have the same damage as a melon bolt, but it can also freeze zombies. So now it's a snow pea, but a melon bolt. I still like the snow pea, but I think the wintermelon's better. And the wintermelon is one of my favorite plants now. And now, it's now the best Twiddy Dinky plant, or should I say, premium plant in PvZ 1. And that is why Wintermelon is basically the king of plants. And that is my list. Look out for best plants in PvZ 1 and worst plants in PvZ 1. Top 10 for those two. And then I will be doing the PvZ 2 lists. So stay tuned for that as well. I love you guys. See you in the next video. Goodbye.